Good morning. Happy coffee talk. Sunday morning, so nice and quiet in my house. I'm enjoying my second cup of coffee right now. Let me show you. It's in this beautiful mug. This mug was given to me actually a week ago by fitme coach Lisa Clary, who is visiting. And we met last weekend on Sunday. So today's Sunday. And last weekend we met. By this time, we had already walked like a mile and a half, 2 miles. Last Sunday, I met friends at 7 a.m. to walk, and then I met another friend at 12:30, I think, and walked. It was the most I'd walked in months, even more than when we went to Disney. But anyways, when Lisa was here, she gave me this mug and I love it. I'm drinking Black Rifle coffee, and no surprise there. If you are new to Coffee Talk, I always share what I'm drinking and the mug that it's in before I dive into the topic. And so that's what I'm drinking. Yesterday I had this epiphany and I wanted to share it with you as the coffee talk message for today. I was sitting out by we have a gazebo in our backyard and we've been working on the yard. We've actually been like moving plants, preparing an area. We're getting a hot tub, but we've been wanting a hot tub for years and we're finally getting it. So we're preparing this area for the hot tub and I'm sitting there and I got myself and my husband some tortilla chips, right? It's Saturday afternoon, you're working outside, you're hot, you're tired, all that stuff. And then so I was like, let me get some tortilla chips. And so I got us the tortilla chips and I'm sitting there eating them and I'm watching him work out. And every chip was like something, not every chip, but the the eating of the chips felt like a thing in my head. I'm like, why does this feel like a thing? It shouldn't feel like a thing. We're busy working outside. Who cares? We don't eat tortilla chips every day. Like, why is it a thing? And I think it was a thing because it just didn't feel particularly good in my skin yesterday. Um, I don't know if it was just because, that time of the month is coming or it because that um, I just didn't feel particularly good. I mean, we can all feel different days. But despite, feeling pretty happy in my skin most of the time yesterday, I just didn't. I felt chubby, to be honest. I felt like meh. And so because I felt meh, the chips were a thing. It was like, maybe I shouldn't be eating these chips. Maybe I don't. Maybe this is why I feel chubby. Maybe this is why, blah, blah, blah. And instead of just sitting there and enjoying them, I made it a thing in my head. And I was annoyed by that. But I was also annoyed by the fact that I didn't feel good in my skin and started questioning, well, maybe you're not, like maybe you're not where you should be. Maybe, and here's the thing. So, P.S., full transparency on me. Before I had my daughter, Georgia, and I think this is helpful in this context too, even though this is like a little bit of a side note. My big year of transformation was about 9 years ago. That was the year that I went from like terrible eating habits, being completely stuck, 40 to 50 pounds overweight after my first two kids, trying all the diets. That year is when all of that changed for me. So that's the year I started working out consistently. I started changing how I was eating. I started drinking water, moving more, walking, all of the things. Okay, so this year was 9 years ago that transformation happened. And a coach, an incredible community was a part of that year. It was, if you haven't heard that story before, I would love to tell it to you. But the point of that story is that year, I probably lost 40 pounds of body fat that year. And then for the following 6 years, I worked out really a lot because I became a professional coach. So I was working out in the gym all the time. I was teaching. I was very active. So I became a professional coach. And 6 years later, so let's just say right before I had Georgia, I was probably in the best shape of my life. Like I had visible abs. I felt super strong. I was in really good shape. It took 6 years, 6 years to really feel like, man, I am like in really good shape. Now, along the way, I didn't feel unhappy, but my body was changing. It was doing like a recomposition, right? Like I kept building muscle and all the things. So point of all that is that then I got pregnant with Georgia. And that was 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. So then pregnancy, normal body changes. Postpartum, normal body changes, but a lot, a lot of them. And so, oops, there goes my watch thinks I'm talking to it, but I am not. So, point of all that is that Georgia will be 3 in June, and I feel pretty good. Am I the exact same weight as I was before her? No. Am I in the ballpark? Yes. Am I as fit as I was before her? No. Nope. Not even close. And I work out all the time. Does that bother me sometimes? Yes. So I am human. I am human of comparing myself to myself sometimes. I'm also human in awareing that I was once fitter than I am right now. And so every once in a while when you have those like bad body days and you're just like feeling the feels, it's going to make even a couple of tortilla chips a thing. Now, for the most part, I feel pretty good. Like I said, I'm in the ballpark. And I'm taking care of myself, to be honest. Like if I wasn't, I would tell you. I mean, no reason not to tell you. But I'm working out, I'm drinking water, I'm eating healthy most of the time. Like I feel good about that. I'm sleeping, all the good things. So maybe in a couple years, will I be as fit as I was before? Yeah, probably. And so I'm just going to be patient with myself and my body. But the point is I didn't like how that felt yesterday. And if you feel unhappy in your skin every day, then I wonder if every day when you have like something that's not perfect, it's a thing. Is that the case for you? Because I can understand that. I can understand why you would think like, even if you went out, even if you were on point all week. So say you were like, had a really great week. You're doing 2 fitme plates a day. You're moving, you're hitting your steps, you're getting some workouts in, you're drinking water, you're doing the things. But then Saturday rolls around and then you go out to eat and you're like, I should be able to go out to eat. I'm pretty much on track. But then you go out to eat and you make it a thing. Well, then that make it a thing part turns into, well, now Sunday's crap. And I don't even know why I got started because I messed it up over the weekend. But you didn't really mess it up. It was all of a sudden it was just a thing because you weren't feeling like you want to feel yet in your skin. So going out to dinner and having some pizza and a beer or two, all of a sudden that's a thing. Why should you be doing that if you're not already where you want to be? And so we start to turn what could be like very reasonable because PS, if you're on point most of the week, if you want to go out and have like a treat once a week and go and have pizza and beer, it's really not going to impact your progress. Especially if it's just like a once a week thing. And so, but we make it a thing. And then that thing spirals. And so I guess I just wanted to share yesterday, tortilla chips was a thing for me. I don't know if that's ever the case for you. I just wanted to share it. It made me enjoy them less. It made me enjoy the occasion of sitting out there less. And all because I was in my head over how I felt in my skin. And that's not how I feel like we want to live our life. And so maybe you don't want to live your life like that either. And so there's a couple of things that I would recommend changing. One is if you're not taking good care of yourself, because here's the thing is I woke up this morning thinking about that yesterday, but got to reassure myself like, listen, Christy, you are doing the things. You're taking care of yourself and you're on your way, don't make it a thing. But step one is if you are not taking good care of yourself and all day long it's a thing, that's where we start. We can't change that second part until we change the first part. So let's start eating better food. At least 2 meals out of the day should be really solid. Let's start drinking water, moving. So drinking water and moving, those are two separate things, not the same. But moving more. So that means whatever you're doing right now, moving more. And then let's start working out a couple times a week. And then let's put some boundaries around junk food, processed junk food. Like, you don't need it. It's not helping you. And put some boundaries around drinking our calories. We put some boundaries in place and we start doing those other things, adding those other things in. Now, let's make it less of a thing. So if you want help with that, I mean, at the end of the day, that's where you start. That's the changes that I made to lose 40 pounds 9 years ago. It wasn't some crazy thing. It was, I started moving more. I started walking a lot. I started working out hard 3 or 4 times a week. So some sort of weightlifting or high intensity exercise like a boot camp or CrossFit or just lifting weights. Started doing that 3 to 4 times a week. I stopped eating out. I'm literally telling you the secrets right now. This is exactly how it's done. I stopped eating out except for 1 time a week. I would go and I would have wings and beer if I wanted, but 1 time a week I would eat out. The rest of the time I tried to eat at home. And I made balanced plates that look like fitme plates. I started focusing on protein and vegetables and make sure my portions for my fat and carbs were, reasonable. And that's how I did it. And so if you need help doing that, right, you're like, oh, that sounds easy. But it always sounds simple, but we know it's not easy. So my advice for you, today's the last day to sign up for our 4-week group. It starts tomorrow. Today's Sunday. This group starts tomorrow, Monday. So if you want help with those things, we'll help you for 4 weeks. We'll coach you on it because it does sound simple, but it doesn't mean that it's easy, especially if your whole life is organized around other things. Then inserting these things actually is going to take some changes and will help you make those changes. So if that's what you would like, I'm going to put the link in the comments and the link in the show notes. And you can hop in with that group. Again, we start tomorrow, so you got to sign up today if you want to do it. And make this stuff less of a thing. Enjoy more occasions. Make it an exception rather than a rule, that you're fixated on what it is that you're doing or what you're eating because you don't feel happy in your skin. Start to make moves on that. Make changes. You don't want to feel like that all the time. So thanks for plugging into Coffee Talk. It means a lot to me. I appreciate all of you, especially new listeners, old listeners, everybody who's been a part of this from day one. This is like episode 440 something. So it means a lot that you listen, and I love sharing these conversations with you each morning, and it feels good to like journal out loud. So hopefully you're able to use this in your day and these things stick with you. So if you like this episode, take a screen capture of it, post it in your story, tag me. It tells me that you listened and it hit today. And then if you haven't joined our Facebook group, go to Facebook and search Fit Me Free Community. This is the place that you should start. If you're like, how do I get started with Fit Me? In there. We'll give you resources. We'll help you get started on your own. Or if you want help, you can learn how to do that. But either way, in the Facebook group, we do free challenges. We do daily accountability. We help you start to make moves like we're talking about. So thanks, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.